Good morning. Today is April the 18th. It is a Thursday, quarter to 10 in the morning. Let's enter full screen. Hopefully I can see much better. Okay, today's video is going to be about learning how to read. I will speak about a little secret I recently came upon. I bought a Robinson Crusoe book, this one. It's Neverland Press editorial, and it has really nice illustrations in the book. Original title: The Life and Strange Surprising Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. And The Farther Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. It's two books in one. This one is printed in Spain. I really like the illustrations in this book. Why did I buy this book? I bought this book because I recently saw Netflix of Simón Bolívar, his life, his story, the life he led, and the things that he did throughout his life, the way he freed, I guess, South America from, well, I don't want to get into that, but it would probably for something for a historian to speak about. Anyways, inside one of the chapters, one side of the what's the name of that? Inside one of the episodes, one of his teachers when he's a young boy, Simón Bolívar, El Profesor Rodriguez tells him that he hands him this book, and he says that whenever he feels alone or lost or in need of help, that this was going to help him. This was the thing that was going to set him free and help him throughout his life. It's probably double significance, meaning that he should probably read, and that reading is probably like it's a double meaning. But that's the way I interpreted it the first time. I've never seen it. I've never heard about this book or seen it. But he said he's basically, well, the way I saw the episode is that reading is going to set you free. Reading is going to help you. Reading is going to be a way of surviving. So that's one way of interpreting. But after I read this, or during the time that I was reading this, this was 6 months ago. I haven't read the whole thing. I read the first book, which is the one, I'm sure, the one he read. It says New Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. Excuse me. I haven't read that one. So this is just the first part. Why is this so important? This video is going to be titled How to Read. I'm going to title it How to Read. This is something that I think happens to a lot of people. It happened to me in high school. And it happened to me during school, during college, university. I love to read. I have my days when I can sit down and read for hours and turn pages and be really into the book. But this is something that really showed me how to read. Why am I speaking about Robinson Crusoe? One of the illustrations in this book contains Robinson, not Robinson, the main character and his father. It's more like it's like a departure of the way I was interpreting the illustration is that I don't know, for some reason, I don't know if it was like a beam of light or something in my mind. It's I'm not I wasn't I, oh it's a little complicated because words, there's that saying that words have 1,000, well, pictures are worth 1,000 words, which is very true. Pictures are very easily misinterpreted. The same as actions. Sometimes we're speaking and maybe we use our hands to speak, and those things can be misinterpreted. But when I saw this illustration, something happened to me that said, read 1 or 2 pages a day. Why? I think it's the window. I think the paintings helped because I related painting with reading when I looked at this. It's like the author is showing you, you don't have to read the entire chapter. You don't have to read the entire book. Read at least 2 pages a day. At least 2 pages a day. So you wake up in the morning, give yourself time to read 2 pages a day. That's the way I interpreted the message. So I think I got it. I think that was it. I think that was it's one of the. I think it's like number 2 illustration in the book. So I think I got it. I think I understood what it was trying to say. Was that reading is not about finishing the book. It's not about, saying I've read all these books. It's not about. It's more about you, right? It's more about internally exercising ideas and language and culture, right? So this is a really this illustration by N.C. Wyeth. It's a really it was really eye opening. So that's exactly what I did. You look at these really thick books, and you're like, I'm never gonna read that. So what I did was read a couple of pages a day. Sometimes I would read 4. Sometimes I would read 1. But I made it a task, more like I have to figure out what it is that Simón Bolívar's teacher, was Mr. Professor Rodriguez, was trying to show him. So by reading this, I understood a lot about what went on in Simón Bolívar's mind. Simón Bolívar. Simón Bolívar says, it's probably not right, but what was going through his mind, the ideas that he was going through in the moment of despair, stuff that was helping him concentrate and probably realize a lot of things. Daniel Defoe, written by Daniel Defoe, very, very well written. This thing is very classic. I really enjoyed it. It's an adventure. It's very this is probably going to be a long video. I have a few books here I want to talk about. It opened up my mind as to obviously reading. So then I started to think, if I can read 2 pages here, I could grab another book. I have the time. I can grab another book and I read a couple pages there. So I started simultaneously reading, and I'm reading like 20 different books now, right? In 6 months, I'll read half of let's say 10 books. I'll read half of 10 books, which is it's more progress for me. It seems difficult and it seems impossible, but I guess this is the way to do it. A little secret, Daniel Defoe secret, or I'm guessing, or N.C. Wyeth, or an old English way of learning, but it works and it's very effective. I loved this. I enjoyed it. I wasn't antsy to finish it, that I had to finish it, that I had to keep reading and reading 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages to finish the chapter. Everything, something I would do in high school. I have like 10 pages left to read, so maybe this helps with homework also. You've got a week to finish this, so give yourself time. 2 pages a day is a lot better. You digest the information. Sometimes I would read it twice, right? I read the couple pages. I read a couple of pages and then, wait a minute, did I really understand it? So I read it. I read those 2 pages again, and it really, by reading it again, it almost, it's that imagery that really comes alive. It's you hear these quote unquote bookworms, these people who say the book is better than the movie, and now I know why they say that, because it's your own movie. It's your own ideas, your own imagination. It's flowing in the right context, right? Positive living and learning. I love this. I love this book. It's a classic. It definitely is a classic, and I think I'm gonna read it again. I haven't finished it. I read the first part, which is the classic, the adventures of um, the first part. Well, I read the Vida y Aventuras de Robinson Crusoe. This is in Spanish, printed in Spain. This is a very good edition. I really like this. I love the illustrations. As I read, I was antsy to see the new illustration, which gave me the author's imagination, a glimpse into. Sorry, not the authors, but the artist's Wyatt's idea of what was going on in the book. So this is one way of reading. So this is a really great way to unlock uh, your interests in books. I know a lot of people love books, and sometimes I read, sometimes I don't, and I don't have time, and and sometimes it's a hassle, and it takes a lot from me. But this is the key. This really unlocked the way I saw the possibility of finishing one of these books. Well, I didn't finish it, but I got through half of it in a few months, and I really enjoyed it, and I had a good time, and I learned, and I absorbed a lot, a lot of what was going on in the book. So there you go. That's a good way of. Okay, so I got that book. Right now, I'm reading these books. This is another classic. Alexander Dumas' Count of Monte Cristo. This is in Spanish. This is very quickly becoming one of my favorite books, and I'm very impressed with the way this thing is written. It's incredibly sophisticated, classy, and historic. It's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful book. I love this book. I haven't I'm on page. I've been here for like the last 2 months. Page 72. I'm doing that 2 pages a day. I've had it for 2 months. Sometimes I don't read. Sometimes I read it. Page 72. I haven't even got to, and it's got so much information, and I've learned so much about history and great writing, what an author should be doing within a book. This is very sophisticated, classy, and historically impressive. This is very good book. I love the movie. One of my favorite movies is Count of Monte Cristo, the new one. I haven't seen the old one, the 1990s. I don't know when it came out. But this is a really good book. I love this book. Right now I'm reading this one. I'm reading Dante's Inferno, La Divina Comedia. This is in Spanish. This isn't my first copy. I bought a copy of Dante's Inferno in Los Angeles. It was a very beautiful edition, and it was in Italian. Why I bought it in Italian, how I got it in Italian, I have no idea. I bought it in Italian because it just looked very very cool. It looked. I really liked the way the book looked. The paper was really nice, and the font was very fine, and it looked really like a really special book. So I bought it because I heard about. No, I'm sorry, I didn't hear any. I've never. I At that time I hadn't heard about Dante, but I saw the book. It was displayed. I think it was a. I bought this back in Torrance. It was a really long time ago. In Walt, I don't know. That was really weird child. I loved really old things when I was like 12 years old. 12 years old, 12 or 13 years. I think I was like 12 years old when I bought Dante's Inferno. So this is my second copy. I'm actually reading this one this time. I just the other one I couldn't read because it was in Italian, but I had it and I was just happy to have it. This is a really incredible. I can't really explain it yet. I think it's I'm a little bit through it. It's like not even 1/4 the way, or yeah, like almost 1/4 the way. Um, I'm doing that same thing. I'm reading two or three pages a day. It's very complicated to understand, but when I do understand it, it's really uh, um, it's really strong imagery. And there's instances when um, well, from what I can tell is that we're going through this. It's like this dead valley, and it's not really a valley. It's almost like very enclosed uh, area where we're finding all these famous people. Um, I think there's this one instance where he says he finds Aristotle in I'm guessing hell. It's not referred to as hell, but it's basically the way I'm interpreting is that hell is a lot more complicated than burning um, burning for infinity. It's just like constantly burning and burning. I think the way the author is explaining it is that it's hell. It's constant hell. Let's say maybe without the flames, but maybe that's something I'm misinterpreting. But finding people that you admire and that you know and all this, it's almost like depressing, um, very scary and dark. But it's very good so far. It's what I've been understanding. Uh, it's very well written. It's very well written. I'm assuming that it has some Latin structure, um, but I've enjoyed it so far. It's got really dark imagery and it's really interesting. So I'm reading this one right now. Um, Pa, ya te llamo, ¿sí? Ya te llamo. ¿Aló? Hola, pa. Ya te llamo. ¿Aló?
¿Aló, qué hijo?
Te llamo ahora. Te llamo ahora.
Ah, bueno, ok, chao.
Chao. Wait a minute. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully this is working. I want to be able to see what I'm. Please excuse the interruption. Dad's calling me. Give me a few more minutes to explain the rest. Okay, so I have this. I'm learning Italian right now. I'm using Duolingo. It's an app that you can download. I think it's Google Play, or I'm pretty sure it's Google Play. Duolingo. It's a very good app. I think I'm on the third or fourth episode, third or fourth section. I don't know where I am, but I kind of stopped looking and just enjoying reading some Italian every day. I also got this Collins book. This is for traveling. Very good book if you're going to Italy and you need to find a way to um, understand or maybe say complete sentences. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of vocabulary. Um, let's see, vocabulary. There's also sentences, and it's divided by subject, right? So it has like how to get a car, how to get public transportation, taxis, work, things, grammar. Anyways, this is a really good Collins. This is another one that I'm reading. This is another Italian one, Spanish Italian, Editorial Arguval. This is a really good one. It's a lot more basic, but it's very useful to have around. Arguval, Editorial Arguval. Para estar completo. Editorial Arguval, Málaga. Esto es español, de España. España, españolita, España, Italia. Este es es muy útil esto, tener esto. To have this is very useful. So both of these are. I don't read them every day, but I do have them. I do have them there. I should start reading them every time I have the chance. I'm gonna start reading them. This one is one I was given to in university when I was studying music in university. This was part of a class on culture and humanities. Julio Cortázar, Rayuela. This is a classic Argentinian Julio Cortázar. He's an Argentinian author. I think from according to the stuff inside here, I'm guessing French, from French origin. A lot of French culture in this book. Anyways, this is a very beautiful book because it's showing you how to freely interpret language and freely read any kind of book, any kind of novel. Sometimes we have this tendency of I don't want to like something I used to do when I was younger was I got this page and I don't want to skip pages because it's probably going to ruin the story. But this author is basically telling you that it's the way to read, right? So you just want to go from beginning to end. It's just one way of interpreting it. One way you can do it this way. There's also a specific way that he's written in the beginning of the book where you skip chapters. You skip from chapter 2 to chapter 26, and then from 26 to 45, and then from 45 back to 15. It's a very interesting, sort of like a Burroughs way of interpreting language and visualizing text. Very, very good way of learning how to read, how to endure with a book. I've had this since college. This is and I'm barely there because I was doing the random chapters for a while, but the way I think is very traditional, very what is that called? A very classic way of thinking, very traditional, very well. And then I got this, so then I said if I know how to do this and read this, so then and then I started reading this. So I'm reading this too. I'm reading. I stopped reading it, but I'm gonna get back into this. Very, very beautiful adventure. There's a lot of bohemian imagery here, a lot of bohemian European guess vi- visually um, uh, viewing European scenery, maybe like your coffee your coffee shop setting, your cigarette smoking, coffee drinking setting, but it's a lot complicated than that. There's a lot of love. There's lust. There's art, music. All of this stuff is in here. This is a very, very, very good book. Very beautiful. Okay, there's this one, Libro de Filippo. I don't know if any of you have seen The Heist. The Heist, Spanish, um, Spanish artists. Pedro Alonso Ochoro. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Pinturas de Magu. He, I know he's a visual artist as well. He draws and he paints. I think these are his paintings. Great paintings. Um, I really like this one in particular. I'll talk about the story in a second. The story is very interesting because it's about an old it's about like old Europe, like pre let's say pre-colonial. It's really not the right word. I'm not sure about. Um, it's almost like a prehistoric version of Europe where there's a soldier who's reliving, almost like deja vu. I have to read it again, but I haven't read all of it. I'm halfway through the book. Uh, it's a soldier who's going through, like he's doing this. What is this? It's almost like an adventure, but it's him. There's a lot of poetry content here. Some of this stuff reminds me of the way the Iliad, Homer's Iliad, is interpreted. As soon as I started reading the Homer's Iliad, for some reason I think he got a lot of inspiration from it, and a lot of I think it's very European way of interpreting language. I think it's a little complicated, but it's very. Where's the painting? I can't find the painting. Oh, here it is. I think this is it. No, it's not it. It's very poetic. This one. This is a very beautiful painting. Very beautiful. It has almost like an Egyptian. What is this? Mesopotamian. It's like in between Mesopotamia and the Gothic period, I think. Pre-Gothic period, where this person is going through episodes of remembering who he was in the past, a soldier, sort of like a romantic spiritual journey through his memories and through all of this. Um, what is it called? Um, Maybe ideology of how Europe is, or Europe was. No, still is. It's a very interesting book. Very interesting book. I really liked it. I like reading it. I'm still reading it. Um, I like the poetry aspect of it. This is really like there's really instances of of poetry. Yeah, like glimpse into poetic scenery. It's complicated. It's a really complicated read, but it's really entertaining. I really liked it because of that Robinson Crusoe book. So I was able to enjoy this a lot more. This is a good book. Let's see. Okay, obviously, this is American or English. The Merriam-Webster dictionary. I've had this since high school. I've had this for what 20 what high school it was 20 years ago, 27 years ago. You can tell it's really dirty, but it's still holding. It's still really good dictionary. It doesn't look that old, but it's 27 years old dictionary. Over 65,000 definitions. This is one of my favorite reference, and of course the companion. I got this a few years ago. This was like 10 years ago. I got this. I guess back when I went to LA a few years ago, like 10 years ago, maybe a little more, like 12 years ago. The thesaurus, which helps. Why did I buy this? I bought this for lyric writing, a way to write lyrics a lot easier. Okay. We have this Dummies for Dummies series. This one is on drawing for dummies. This is in Spanish, dibujo para, ¿cómo es que está en español? Se me olvidó cómo se. En español tiene otra forma de, se ve de otra manera, pero es la misma serie. This is a very, 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 very good book. It's not my favorite drawing book because I think it's the drawing for dummies. I think this is, it makes people think like it's an inferior read, but these are really, really good books, especially if you like computers. If you like software, if you probably you don't have time to take a class, or for example, you bought the new Microsoft Excel, and you want to know how to use that thing. You get one of these for dummies, and it's a great way to go from point A to B, to progress, to learn. I haven't really read this, and this is one of the books that got wet. One of those books that got wet in that flood. But everything's in here. Everything that I know and that I utilize. There's perspective, the thing that Dali used a lot. There's texture. It's actually very complete. It's a very complete book. It's not my favorite book because it's not one of those other romantic, maybe comic book author books, but this is a very good, very, very good book. It has character creation and composition. It has light and shade. It has invention, drawing from your imagination, drawing from pictures. I think I don't frequent because of look at her work. It's so professional, it's so advanced that it's very intimidating, and I don't want But what the book is basically, man, I'm probably gonna read this again. I'm gonna. It's just the first part. It's showing. It's the first part. It shows you the scale. Right. Every drawing has a scale. It's been drawn in. Especially if you're using monochrome scale, which is the way I interpret art, and this is the way I use. This is basically all you would need if you want to learn how to draw. This is a great way of learning. I don't say it's my favorite book because I think it's because of the way it looks. It's a book for dummies, but it's a complete book. Maybe if they changed the color and made it look old, and I don't know, put something else in the cover. Yeah, not like a hand and a portrait of a girl. But it's a complete book. It could be a classic. It's a very complete book. It is a good book, and I have looked at it. I have read it. Yeah, there's stuff on perspective, stuff that Dali used. No, it is a good book. It is a good book. So Some of my favorite books are these dummy series, especially computer books. These dummies books. Back when I was in middle school, we would get these with my stepdad. He would get these to learn how to work Windows 3.1, Windows 2000. Uh, what's the other one? Think I got one for what was the other one? Some other software, some other software back Windows, Packard Bell, back in the back in the 90s. But these are really, 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 really good books. Um, it's a way to. So how are these books structured? Um, they're basically structured so that you don't have to digest anything difficult. It's very light reading, where everything is explained consistently and super clear. Like you don't have to think, you don't have to ponder about maybe maybe this is darker, maybe this is lighter. No, no, no. This is telling you how it is, direct and easily to digest. That's why it's so good because it doesn't go through it doesn't go through all those wordplay. It doesn't like mess with your ideas of what art and drawing is. It's basically telling you if you want to do this, you got to do this. That's it. There's things. There's a lot of tips here, things where you resources, things where you can go. Let me see how long this video. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, this is these dummies books are some of my favorite. I think it's the way we look at the book that it's not one of my favorite drawing books, but yeah, I guess it will be, right. That's why I kept it. I made sure that it got dry again and it stays in good condition. So I think I'm gonna start reading this one again. Um, this was given to me by an ex-girlfriend. She took a trip to Canada. Yes, this was like 20 years ago, more than that. Maybe I don't know. She took a trip to Canada and went into a music store, and she got me this because I was getting into drumming, and I had recently bought that drum set. That's here, right here. She got this for me. It's a Mel Bay production. Mel Bay. It's a really good book. It's really, really good book. I think I'm on the third or fourth page. It's really complicated. I'm not a drummer, but I'm learning how to drum for a studio for production purposes. It has a lot of grooves and fills, and it's divided into two sections. One is I read it. I've read it like 10 times, and I already forgot. I know it's divided into two sections, but this is a really good book. Very, very, very good way to start to drum, especially if you're into pop music and you want to learn how to drum, or at least learn how to listen to drums and how to maybe tell the drummer what to like. Don't do this. Play it like this, or maybe even write it out. You can copy a groove. No, play this, right? So this is a good book. Let's see. This one is really, really good. I love this book. It's The Naked Chef, Jamie Oliver. I know a lot of you have heard of Jamie Oliver. He's a British cook. Very, very popular right now because in the last 20 years because he's making cooking. He makes cooking look easy and accessible. And the book is completely different. The book is complicated. It's not for beginners. Um, it's a lot more complicated than it looks. It's right off the bat. It's telling you that you have to make your own bread. You have to make your own sauces. You have to make your own soups. It doesn't tell you. It doesn't baby you. It doesn't tell you like you got to do this. You got to chop this up. You got to a pinch of salt here. No, it's basically like it is easy to read. It's not that there's not that much text, but the dishes that you look. I mean, this stuff is really complicated. It looks very beautiful. I think um, it's got perfect roast chicken. All this stuff that is oven. It's very very complicated, but it's there. I mean, I haven't read it. I got to tell you the truth. I've only read the first three pages. This is one of the other books that got wet, because I'm learning how to. I guess I'm very traditional in that sense that I read up to a point, and then if I know that it's a little advanced or too advanced, then I wait. I just I put the book away, and I utilize the stuff that I've learned in the last 3 pages. So what is the first pages? He's talking about your commodities. So know what your commodities are. So basically, going into the supermarket, knowing what is what. You got your salts, you got your vinegars, you got your vegetables, you got your potatoes, you got your grains, you got your cheese, dairy products, milk, cheeses. You got your cereals. All this stuff you have to divide in your mind and make a list of the things that suggested basic list for your ladder. There's a basic list at the beginning. It tells you, all this stuff you may not may. This is stuff you need, and stuff you need to get, materials basically. So like if you're making a painting, you have to get these brushes, you have to get this oil, you have to get this. It talks in detail. I've basically, what have I done? I took that idea of commodities. I went to the supermarket. I made a list, and I'm stuck on soups. I make other stuff because I improvise according to what I've learned. I still have to make minestrone soup. I haven't made it. It's the first dish here, and I haven't made it. But I've been able to make my own stuff, and it's really interesting because I've learned throughout cooking, and um, it's not like you're gonna learn how to do this in one day. It's not one of those books. Basically, you got to hold on to this for the rest of your life, and number one bestseller. This is a really good book. Sometimes when I'm feeling a little, it tells you how to make pasta, how to make your own pasta, which I think is super advanced. But it's really not. It's flour, eggs, and milk or water. I don't know. But that's basically it. And then you need obviously the right cooking utensils and cooking stuff to. Maybe I'm over interpreting some of this stuff, but there's a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna start reading this too again. Maybe maybe I should do the Cortázar thing, which is he's saying, don't read from left to right, from beginning to end. Skip pages, skip chapters, read the book backwards. This is a really good idea of that. So maybe that's what I should be doing with this, right? Turn to a page, and yeah, what did I turn? Yeah, I turned to pork and crackling. Right, copy this as good as you can. I'm guessing get pork. Those are the ingredients. Improvise. Let's see what we can make. Oh, well, learn something today. As I share, I learn. As I share, I learn. 44 minutes. All right, good. Okay, my friend, Enrique Peñalosa Londoño. He was the governor of Bogota, where I live right now, currently. This is the first edition of this book, Villegas Editores, one of my favorite editoriales aquí en Bogota. My favorite editores. This has been very difficult to read because of all the violence and I don't want to use negative language, but because of all the negative stuff that's been happening within the city, been very disappointed in the way things have been going on in my city. Violence is completely out of control. Just yesterday, last night, somebody I think was I don't know if I went. I was walking with my dog as I usually do, and I think somebody got murdered a couple of blocks away in a little bar. I was walking and I saw the guy from the forensics and the cops, and I didn't want to stop to ask because I already kind of know what happened. Somebody was shot and killed, or somebody was very badly wounded. Um, this is only not even 2 blocks away from my house. This is only a block away from my house, which is this is very sad to report. This is a very good looking book. It's got very good paper. It's very well. I think the way it's um, maybe the idea of writing this book is a good idea of structured out, but I'm not content with. I don't think. I think this book is written and it's being misinterpreted completely. Um, I apologize to my obviously the people who are above me in the city as part of the um, government. I do not. I'm not. I am. I'm not anti-government. Completely the opposite. I think that government is important, and I think Enrique Peñalosa Londoño did a lot of very good things for Bogota. He created what is called today El Transmilenio. Very important way for us to commute within the city. Very thankful for that. I use Transmilenio every day. Every time I can't take my car out of the garage. I use Transmilenio. I always have. I like it because it's quick. It takes me from point A to B. It's very well. Right now, it's not very safe, but and it's not very cheap. It's very expensive. But it's the I guess it's the say it's it's a lot safer and I don't want to say cheaper economic way of traveling here within the city. There's still a lot of things that go wrong with it, but I really like it. I think it's very modern. It looks very good. It makes our city look cleaner and modern. Um, the first I've read, I'm on chapter 76. I'm sorry, chapter. I'm on page 67. His ideas of so from that point on, I think he was doing very good in our city. I think if he sees this video, I'm sure he'll somebody will see this video in from my government, and they will obviously have their opinion about everything that I'm about to say. I don't. I think he's a very good. He was a very good governor. I think he had things very clean, orderly, organized. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, uh, this has turned into chaos. The city has turned into chaos, and there's a lot of violence in within my people and within um, uh, everything that's going on within the city. Um, the first few pages of this book, he's speaking about his life in France. He grew up in France, and he was very poor. He had a very hard time growing up, and he had to have very. I'm sure he did a lot of demeaning work in Europe and in France in order to survive, to so that he could go to school, educate himself, and eventually come back here. And I think he also I went to university in the United States. Um, he's a very educated person, and he's had a very interesting life. But since all this stuff is happening within the city, this doesn't seem to be uh, besides his biography, his ideas don't seem to be It's not. It's. I'm trying to look for the right word. I think a lot of people are misinterpreting his ideas. I think when he talks about equality and happiness, uh, I, th- I think I think the wrong people want equality. The wrong people want happiness. What do I mean by this? If I'm a violent person who likes to get by hurting other people, damaging property, killing, um, etc., etc., I deserve happiness too. This is very, very bad. This is very bad. I'm sorry, but this is not. I guess I'll leave that up to he knows. He knows. I guess the government knows what they are. What I'm referring to. I think the people that used to hate Enrique Peñalosa, they used to uh, basically backstab him and be behind him, telling him that he's the worst person because he's doing the Transmilenio and he's doing all this, and are the same people today he's helping. So these are all these people who rob, steal, kill, all this really bad stuff within the city, and he. I don't know if he's doing this on purpose, but by writing stuff like this and publicly giving this to our giving this to the people, saying that everybody here is equal. That is not okay. That is not okay. We cannot have the same. I don't have the same rights as you know as people in government, and I should never have those kinds of rights. I don't have the same rights as a police officer. I can't go around shooting people because I think I'm authority. That is not my purpose here. I studied art. I'm not liberal arts. I'm a fine art major. I'm an engineer. I'm a musician. I'm an artist. I don't I don't have the right to go around killing people because I'm giving myself that authority, because I'm giving myself the badge of being somebody who can hurt, destroy, kill families, uh, communities, intimidate the youth. This is what they're reading. This is what they think. This is what they think they should be doing. So this is me saying this is a beautiful book. The way it looks, the way it's being. I have to read it still, right? I'm sure this is a good book. He does have a lot of good ideas. He's an educated person, but I think he's not. He's been the way he wrote this is being misinterpreted. It's not. It's easily misinterpreted. So when I read this, sometimes I'm like, "Whoa, are you sure this was proofread? Are you sure this is?" I don't want to put him down because he's uh, patriota, colombiano. I don't like it when we put ourselves down because I think I have the authority because we're the same blood and we're the same race and we live in the same city. I have the I have that ability to put you down because me and you are the same. I'm sorry, that's not good. That's not okay. I looked up to him a lot because of what he's been doing to the city, and I've stuck my neck out on numerous times on sitting down with friends in college and university saying he's doing a lot of good stuff for the city, while four or five other people are ready to, you know, break whiskey bottles in my head and probably cut my throat because I'm 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 I'm, I'm saying that he's a good leader. But now I think differently. I'm sorry. It's not okay. This is not okay. This is what's happening. So, ahí dejo la cantaleta. This is something you should probably read again. I'm reading it right now, and it's making me very, very angry because I think his ideas are in the right place, but maybe not his heart. I think he's doing this to hurt other people, which is not okay. This isn't okay. You can't interpret language to fit your own criteria. I can't. I can't bend the rules to satisfy the people who used to stab me in the back in order to have in order to have equality. That's not okay. So yeah, no, I don't have. It's done a lot of good stuff for my city, but this isn't one of them. So that's what I'm reading right now. Este es un buen libro. This is a really good book. This was suggested to me by a friend. I was in a band with him most recently. He's a singer songwriter he's what's the Villa Ferrea. He is a lit major, and so I that's why I sort of asked him for the idea. You know, I was like, I'm getting back into literature. What do you suggest I should get? I was like, I think I was looking for the right. I'm just looking for the right. I really like the way he writes lyrics. I think his songs are very good. So I asked him, what do you think is a good read? Um, I think this is a good read. I think this is a very good read. So I got this book, and I'm reading it right now. Um, may not understand all of it, but I think I do actually. This is this is not complicated reading. It's very straightforward. There's a romantic aspect to it. It has some imagery, and there's a lot of morality. I think here it's like it's a type of morality, which is good. I like it. I like it. I think this is a good book. I haven't finished reading it. I'm still halfway there. Still halfway there. Um, okay, I have these art books. These are small art, Editorial Panamericana. Estos son these are very beautiful books because they are very inexpensively made. Well, I'm sorry, that's not the right sentence. Um, these are made I think to keep it accessible to people that they don't want to buy a $150 book, so they get one of these, which is a lot smaller, but it's got beautiful. It's got really good paper, really thick paper, and it's got a lot of beautiful artwork. A lot of beautiful artwork. This is one of my favorite Egon Schiele um, paintings of his wife Gertrude. It's one of my favorite artists. It's a very old book. I got this a long time ago, and it's a series. There's a lot of these. Well, these are really old. I don't think they make these anymore. I got a Leonardo da Vinci one, dibujos eróticos y desnudos. This is a very good way to get people into art. Leonardo da Vinci, of course, very beautiful drawings. The Renaissance. Yeah. So these are good books. Let's see what else. Oh, I have okay, and I think this is the last of it. I've spoken of Hal Leonard, Nirvana Unplugged book, and Jimi Hendrix as Bold as Love. These Hal Leonard books. This is a specific series for. It's called The Recording Method. I think there's 6 or 7 books, or 9 books. No, 6 books, and this is the 6th one. I have this one, Hal Leonard book. I also have I think 6. I have 5 and 6 of this series. Very good books, very informative, thorough information on how things should be, on how things can be accomplished. This is the mixing one. This is mixing and mastering. Mixing and mastering. It's very straightforward. It has all the vocabulary you need to understand to become more a part of this world, mixing audio and anyways, phase. Okay. And I went to a music school in Hollywood, Musicians Institute. They have their own editorial books. These are private lessons, and this is masterclass. If you're ever in Hollywood and want to, and are a musician and want to get one of these books, I think you could also get these on Amazon. These are very informative books, very good books. They usually come with a CD. But these books are very good. This is one of my favorite books. This is a jazz improv guitar book. I really like this book. Hal Leonard. It's a Hal Leonard production. These are very good, informative, educative, and complete forms of educating yourself within music. Chord tones, just different structures, voicings. There's a section on fourths. There's theory in here. Very entertaining way of learning. And these are very good books. Okay, I think that's it. Hal Leonard. Anyways, that's the video on how to read. Basically, purchasing literature is very healthy, very good for you. I'm assuming it's an investment for everybody's education, not just kids, not just young adults, but everybody who is anybody. Reading is a great way of building character and being in tune with who you currently are and are probably going. I don't want to go out there and say that everything that you read is probably a good read. That's why I would stick to the classics. The Count of Monte Cristo, like I said, right now it's becoming one of my favorite books. I think it's a classic read and incredibly written. And I know now why that book is what it is and what it represents in our history and culture. Comic books are also very entertaining and a way to, pass time. It's a lot healthier than being on the street and maybe looking for trouble or doing stuff we probably shouldn't. But yeah, reading is an excellent time to be in tune with who we are and develop character and the type of person we are going to become in the future. Hopefully the video has been informative. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I will be sharing more of this content in further videos for the future. Let me see. Anything else I wanted to clarify? Read things that are interesting to you. Don't read things because someone told you to read them. Don't read The Count of Monte Cristo because I said to read him. I bought the book because I really enjoyed the movie. I've seen the movie like 20 times, and I bought the book precisely for that. The book is not like the movie. It's completely different. It's its own thing, and it's very... I'm very happy that I bought the book. Let's see what else. Read stuff that you are into. Read things that are interesting to you. If you like, for example, animals or pets, I suggest you get books on animals and pets. If you're interested in computers, get books on computers. Having the actual book is a lot different than having a PDF on the computer. Um, not that one is better than the other, but they're just different. Having your own copy of something that is very important to you is very meaningful within your living space. For example, the orange amplifier that I have back here, it's an original orange amplifier. So there's this thing about stuff just being stuff. Material stuff is just stuff. I think I think I think that's important to understand that obviously life is more important than material possessions. That doesn't mean we don't have to care about our material possessions. Our material possessions are things that help us develop. They're tools that help us get to where we want to go. This orange amplifier really makes me happy that I have it. I love to play through it because it's a completely different experience. Having an orange amplifier, having a Marshall amplifier. I had a Marshall head, a JCM 2000 with a 1960s greenback Celestion slant cab, which was completely different than anything else I've ever heard in my life. The same thing with this orange amplifier. Having these things, nice things, nice clothes, nice electronics, nice dog, for example, a German Shepherd. These things, they're not the most important thing in the world, but they are important. They are important in our world. We have to take care of the things that we have. We have to take care of our city. We have to take care of. Um, we can't destroy people's property. We can't destroy the streets because that's. We can't kill people because they are just people insignificant in our world. That is not okay. We have to take care of the things that we own, and not to the point to say that things are more important than human life. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that materials, tools, development, education, clothing. I don't want to be cold on the street. I need something to keep me warm. I need very good shoes, very good boots to keep me from getting my feet wet. I have to walk long distances. I don't want to get uh, I don't want to get fungus on my feet. I don't want to get sick. I don't want anything in my lungs. I don't want pollution. All this stuff is it may be insignificant to a lot of people who don't care about anything, but they are important. Having nice things in the house. For example, I was using the orange amplifier as an example. I have you can see back here. It's a little messy right now because I like to move stuff around and right now I'm not working on electronics, so that looks very messy, and it's been like that for a while because I'm doing other things. I'm reading a lot right now. I'm doing other tasks. But for example, that backpack is a Jan Sport backpack. I bought it here, but Jan Sport is one of my favorite backpack brands because it's sturdy. It's made to last. It's made to endure lots of weather. Um, you could throw that thing around, and you can try to. That thing will outlast anything else that you have in I don't know. It's very very well made. That's why I like to have this stuff. The same as everything else. This computer that I'm using right now is very well made, and I want to take care of it. I don't want um, I don't want my things to be mistreated, stolen, wrecked, thrown, burned. It, I think I've got my idea across. Thank you for listening. This is This is me signing off. My channel is right now. It's very random. My music, my art, my right now I think it's basically a lot of literature I'm reading. I'm just getting really into literature. I'm doing a lot of drawings right now. I will be sharing them on Instagram. I'm sharing a lot of my dog, my dog Neko. He is he's very happy, but I gotta take him out for a walk. Okay, thank you for listening. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. I will be sharing more of this content in further videos. Okay, thank you for listening.